A great bird's eye view of the arena here in Houston, Texas. It's Charlotte and Houston. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports for myself, Kevin Harlan, and my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And one of the guys we'll be seeing in this one, James Harden.
You know, it's interesting, Kevin. It seems like there's two versions of it. There's the first 3 quarters of the game version, and then the fourth quarter alter ego. You know, the game is locked up, it's tight, and all of a sudden you see his killer instinct come out, and he frequently just takes over.
And another thing about him, Steve, true or not, is that he sees himself as the unquestioned leader of this team. He's not afraid to really get on his teammates if they're not performing up to par. You know, when you get an influx of talent through the draft like the Rockets did prior to last season, the initial reaction is excitement, but then you think about, man, how are we going to get these guys ready to play NBA basketball? And the Rockets did a nice job by taking it easy and bringing them along slowly.
So the Rockets win the tip. Lynn with it. He's picked up by Walker. Harden outside. Back to Lynn. Howard with a screen on Walker. There's the triple. Parsons' shot is off. And for the Rockets, you look at how that strategy worked out for them, and it was exactly what they needed. Got off to a quick start last year, and you know, Steve, toward the end, their rookies were fresh and able to contribute when it mattered most.
You know, Kevin, it's hard for fans to see a player get drafted and not immediately see the floor, but a lot of times that's the best route. You know, you give a player time to adjust, you make him earn it, and by the end of the season, he can be a very effective player. I think plenty of the Rockets players proved that last season.
And so it's the Bobcats getting on the board first. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Outside, Walker, and the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Now, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Harden with it. This is to Parsons. He kicks to Asha. Knocked away and stolen by Zeller. Here's Kid Gilchrist, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it and when.
On defense, Charlotte. Harden dishes to Lynn. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. And Parsons kicks to Lynn. Just 5 on the clock. No good on the triple from Harden.
Gerald Henderson coming off his best season, guys. Three-point shooting was one of his weaknesses, and he made a huge leap in that area. Shot around 37% from the arc. Much better than his first 3 seasons.
Now, here is Harden, following the miss by Al Jefferson. Shoots it. Harden's shot is good. Here's Walker. Well, going back to Henderson and the three-point shot, despite his improvement, not one he leaned on that heavily.
Well, that's smart, because if you're not a great three-point shooter, you've got to be very selective. And more often than not, Henderson would shoot the corner three but avoid the longer ones. That's the sign of maturity. That's the sign of a player who understands his limitations.
Here is Harden after Al Jefferson's score. From outside the arc. Goes back up, and there's the bucket on the layup from Asha.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Bobcats have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And it's Walker penetrating. Charlotte moving it around. Jefferson passing to Henderson. He dishes it to Walker. Walker gets a screen from Zeller, and Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Kid Gilchrist has got 5.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Back to Lynn from deep Harden, and that one's good.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Now here's Henderson, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Zeller with it, back to Walker. Jefferson down low. The jump hook, shot misses. So Houston will take it the other way. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I had a chance to catch up with Steve Clifford. He said he certainly followed the rise of Jeremy Lin into a prime-time point guard in this league, and he told me we need to try to limit his penetration. That's where he's most effective, flashing and with the drive and kick. Guys, Lin has certainly been working to improve his outside shot, but sometimes you have to pick your poison, and they'll live with him shooting from outside. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And the Bobcats with a new group in. Biombo, he's checked in for Jefferson. Josh McRoberts comes in for Zeller. Gordon's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And Sessions subbed in for Kemba Walker. It's Harden with the drive, and the shot is good. Harden's got 9.
Well, he's been working hard to get good looks, and it's paying off for him early.
And Sessions kicks to Biombo. The feed to Gordon. 1:16 left to play in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. Here's Sessions. From outside, off the mark. Houston's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Garcia goes in, puts it up from 12. No good from Beverly.
That's not his shot there, guys. And whether you play D on him or not, he's usually going to miss that one.
Sessions gets a screen from Biombo. Sessions with it, picked up by Monty Eunice. And here's Gordon from outside.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not.
And Garcia kicks to Monty Eunice. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. Charlotte trailing. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And McRoberts kicks to Kid Gilchrist. McRoberts' shot is good.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
For Houston, they've gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. Harden dishes to Monty Eunice. From deep. Harden can't hit. 1 second left. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. It's a tie game here in Houston. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, Steve Clark, what are your thoughts?
It's been beautiful basketball to watch, guys. Really sharing and moving the ball, and as a result, they've got a great flow going.
Hand in glove, 5 guys working as one. The power of the fist, we call it. They've racked up a bunch of assists.
Beverly and Harden man the backcourt. Monty Eunice out there with Garcia, and it's Smith in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets.
Well, you look at Ben Gordon, guys, a pure shooter, clearly. Can spot up, pull up. However he gets his shot off, you expect it to go in.
Now, here is Harden. Back to Garcia. 6 to shoot. Harden up top, defended by Gordon. Another miss by Harden. And going back to Ben Gordon. Clark, you called him a pure shooter, but he doesn't bring a whole lot else, does he, Steve?
Well, he's limited offensively. You know he can shoot and score, but not really a playmaker. And he's not big enough to post up. And he's not a great defender, but you know what he is. He's a scorer, and I think he's ideally suited to bring off the bench because of that.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Feeds it to Garcia. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Garcia's got it all tied up now for the Rockets. The Bobcat shooting has been terrific. 54% on the game. Sessions passes to Gordon. Now here's Sessions. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And the basket by Gordon.
Sessions doing a nice job that time.
Rocket shooting well, 50% from the floor. Here's Beverly. The dish to Harden. Here's Moniunas, and he banks in the layup. Moniunas has got his first basket.
The defenders have to be aware. They cannot allow him that position before he catches the ball.
You're exactly right, Steve. That is his domain.
Moniunas with the steal. And here's Harden. 9 points in the game so far. He feeds it to Beverly. There's the pass to Moniunas. They grab their own miss. Smith, no luck. The Bobcats with the lead. And Sessions kicks to McRoberts. Gordon with it. Now guarded by Beverly. Henderson with it. He's against Smith. 4 on the clock. Here's the three. Gordon with another miss. For Houston, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Harden kicks to Garcia. And Moniunas the basket on the assist from Garcia. Moniunas has got 4 points now in the quarter. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Sessions dishes to Gordon. Gordon off a pick from Biombo. And it's Gordon penetrating. Charlotte moving the ball around. Got it from 16 feet. Gordon's got 5 now.
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open.
Timeout called, the Rockets. And as we get a break here, important for the teams to go over their own strategy. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. To put out your best effort as the game wears on, guys.
You know, it's amazing when you're playing during the season, if you go through a stretch where you don't hydrate, it can have a major physical toll on you. Your body wears down quicker, you don't recover as fast, and that can really take its toll over the course of an 82-game season.
The Bobcats making a switch here. Al Jefferson's checked in for Biombo. Zeller comes in for Josh McRoberts. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Ben Gordon. And Walker subbed in for Sessions. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. He urged his guys to pound the offensive boards, to follow every shot, and start cashing in on some putbacks and extending possessions. He also urged them to drive the lane aggressively on offense, saying they won't be able to handle us if we can get bodies to the basket each and every time down the court. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
Thank you, Doris. Now, Howell. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist missing from long range. And the shot is good.
Well, you know, Charlotte knew they had to improve in a lot of areas, and defense was one of them. Drafted a guy like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist who can cause trouble, but unfortunately they still have a lot of work to do, as they were still one of the worst defensive teams in the league in efficiency.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
And they're doing a fantastic job of finding the open man and getting easy looks.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
Now here's Henderson. passes to Kid Gilchrist. Good on the three-point shot. Kid Gilchrist has got 8. Well, Clark, as you said, the Bobcats started to add more defensive players to their roster, but had a lot of trouble in a lot of different areas. Gave up, Steve, way too many threes, the second worst defensive three-point percentage in the NBA.
Yeah, the defense is going to have to improve, Kevin. There's no question. It's going to be a team effort. You've got to have 5 guys on the floor committed. It's going to take some time, but they've been drafting defensive-minded players, and that should help.
Jefferson. It's rebounded by Houston.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Howard, the pass to Lynn. Screen by Howard. Lynn kicks to Howard.
Well, you know, for Dwight Howard, guys, I think it had to be a really tough decision to leave the Lakers. But ultimately, he decided he just didn't like the fit that was carved out for him there. A disappointing performance for the team last season. There seemed to be a lot of infighting and drama and dysfunction. He just decided he was ready for a new start.
First one falls for him. And for Howard last season with the Lakers, it was surprising how Kobe and even Mike D'Antoni publicly questioned Dwight when he sat out some games with injury, but we know that he was debilitated with various ailments all year long.
Yeah, that's normally not done, Kevin, certainly not in public anyway, and that may have been kind of the straw that broke the camel's back as far as Dwight's decision to move on from L.A.
Now here's Jefferson. Jefferson can't get that one to fall.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Parsons attacking.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
The Rockets shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Parsons.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second, getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And, you know, this lead is going to grow if they can continue to get to the free throw line.
Sessions checked in for Charlotte. Both free throws good from Parsons. Bobcats trail by 3. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And Zeller kicks to Sessions. Looking for Jefferson. He gets it there. The jump hook. And yes, sir, that one drops. Jefferson's got 6. And here comes Harden. 9 points in the game so far. Out to the right wing. And the 3 is knocked down. Deep ball good and a nice shot from Lynn.
Jeremy Lin.
Heaves it up. Can't get it to go. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Rockets lead by 4. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, guys, I'm here with Al Jefferson. And Al, what's the strategy been so far defensively, and what needs to happen in the second half in that regard?
Well, we just got to help. You know, we can't let everybody beat us. We just got to, everybody got to help and on the defense end and give them the key to protect the paint.
Pick your poison. Can't let everybody beat you, Al. We appreciate it, guys.
Okay, Doris, thanks. And we'll have the start of the third quarter for you shortly. But first, the halftime show.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Fridays are made for basketball, and now, from the 2K Sports Studios, we're happy to bring you the halftime show. The Houston Rockets in front against Charlotte. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. James Harden has been the X factor. He's got 9 points, and he's been able to provide some nice assists as well. And on the other hand, the Bobcats are still alive. Their bench making its presence felt, putting up big numbers coming in from the Pine. A valuable contribution so far by Michael Kidd Gilchrist. And also Al Jefferson with great work for him in the first half too. And back we go to Houston. Thanks so much for being with us on 2K Sports at the Half.
the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Well, I think that the Bobcats need to change their strategy against Hardin.
He has 9 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
Yeah, it is a nice number. He's taken it upon himself to really find his teammates and to get this offense going.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for Charlotte, at the 3, MKG and Cody Zeller at the 4. Perry in the backcourt, it's Walker and Henderson, and it's Jefferson in at the center.
Well, you know, prior to last season, there were several teams that considered trading for James Harden. There was a question, though, over how much they were prepared to give up. And some question if he could be the first option on the team. That question's been answered.
Now, here's Walker. Harden missing his last shot. Shot clock at 5. Howard against Jefferson. And it comes off the front of the rim. In the season before last, Harden won 6th Man of the Year. But, guys, do you think that because Harden came off the bench in Oklahoma City that some underestimated his talent?
Well, I don't think anybody underestimated his talent. I think it was pretty apparent what he could do. But, you know, scouts have watched him ever since his Arizona State days. You can see he had star potential, and now he's getting the opportunity in Houston to fulfill that.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, for the Houston Rockets, a remarkable rebuild process since 2009. They remained around a 500 team, trading for draft picks and young prospects, preserving cap space, and acquiring the elite talents of James Harden and Dwight Howard. They've become, once again, a contender in the West. Kevin, this is a young team poised to make some real noise.
The story of the offseason, no question. Thank you, Doris. Here's Walker after Jeremy Lin's bucket. Outside, Walker. A floater, he lays it in.
Yeah, not just an everyday finish. He put a little pizzazz on that one, guys.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
You know, he wants to tinker a little bit, and he's taking the time to do so right here.
Yeah, I think you're right. He just didn't like some of the things he saw out there, a bit uncomfortable, and wanted to talk it over.
Biombo, he's checked in for Charlotte. Two minutes into the second half of play now. Rockets leading by 6. Lynn dishes to Harden. This one for 3. Second shot opportunity, and he sinks the layup. Ashik's got his second bucket.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Steve Clifford was just going over the game plan with his team. He told his guys that offensive rebounding is what they need to most improve on. He told them that they should have far more second chance points than they have to this point. The other thing he discussed with them was that they should be forceful with the ball. He said if they see a gap in the defense, they should go straight to the bucket. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
Well, you know, the Houston fans could be forgiven for not having heard of Umir Ashik when the Rockets signed him as their starting center a season ago. He was a second-round pick out of Turkey in 08, a backup in Chicago, but he's quickly shown himself to be a key piece of this promising young core.
And he knocks down the first one. And you have to give the Rockets credit for going after Ashik, a player who never averaged more than 15 minutes a game with Chicago, a restricted free agent with the Bulls, and became a very important part for the Rockets.
Well, they clearly saw something special with Ashik. He's a great rebounder and defender, uses his body, understands angles, and plays that verticality really well as a defensive center.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
You know, when you lack impact players, playing against the Western Conference is going to be brutal. It's going to be difficult. And the Bobcats felt the wrath of the West because they weren't quite able to match up.
Here's Biombo. 6 on the shot clock. Gordon goes in. And Charlotte again with the bucket. Now Lynn. As you said with the Bobcats, just absolutely abysmal against the West. 30 games against the conference, and they only managed 3. Yes, as in 1, 2, 3 wins the entire year, Steve.
And 2 of those wins came against the Timberwolves. So how about that? I mean, 1 win against the rest of the Western Conference. That's a shocking number, but it just shows you how much work the Bobcats have ahead of them before they're able to really put together a good team.
Walker with it, and it's Lynn picking him up. Walker against Lynn. Biombo, the pass to Gordon. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Outside, Lynn. Parsons outside. Pass to Asha. Pulls it up. Another miss by Houston.
Great defensive anticipation there to challenge that shooter.
Gordon kicks to Walker. From the top of the key, he buries it. And it's now only a 1-point Houston lead.
Fellas, that's been a go-to shot for them today.
Yeah, they found that sweet spot between the paint and the three-point line, and they're knocking a lot of those shots down.
Here's Ashik. He's got 5. Lynn gets a screen from Ashik. Lynn with it, now guarded by McRoberts. Lynn dishes to Smith. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Boy, I'd like to know how many of their attempts have come from inside 5 feet. It seems like everything is right at the rim.
And now the first timeout called here for the Bobcats.
You know, the Rockets did a lot to make over their backcourt last season as they brought in 2 big names in Jeremy Lin and James Harden. And that's not always an easy adjustment. Took a little time for both of those guys to figure out how to coexist in the pick-and-roll offense.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Kevin McHale coaching his team during that break. He said to his guys, let's get serious about driving the lane and putting pressure on their interior defenders. That's where he sees the soft spot in this defense. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. And Clark, as you said, it took some time for this Houston backcourt to learn how to play with each other, but that is the case for any duo. Eventually, Steve, they found a happier medium, and that initiated some great offense between them.
Well, they were much more effective down the stretch last season, Kevin, and I thought it really showed in the way Lynn and Harden kind of played off of each other. So, you know, a lot of teams, they seem to want to have that second option for bringing the ball up or for attacking, and it is very effective to have a couple of guys who can each attack and create.
Outside, Lynn, beyond the arc, and down it goes. Three-pointer falls in from Garcia. Garcia's got 5, and Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, tit for tat. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
These 2 teams, guys, look so evenly matched to me. I think this could go right down to the wire.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Houston on top. They lead by 2. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, this had to be the choice. It was an absolutely sensational feat, putting him way up there above the rim so that only his teammate could catch it. And not only does he do it, but he powers it down from there.
Yeah, the timing of these plays are just phenomenal.
No question.
And so here is Houston. The lead is 2. Parsons playing at power forward with Dwight Howard in the middle. Jeremy Lin is out there with Patrick Beverly. And it's Harden in at the 3 spot. It's the 5 for Houston right now.
He doesn't need to fade away on that move. He can go straight up, make it an easier shot.
The Bobcats shooting so far very efficient all around, about 55%. Sessions with it. And he gets the bucket.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
Yeah, and that's their goal down the stretch. Continue to find those close-range shots.
And Beverly kicks to Harden. It's blocked by Kid Gilchrist. Gets the bucket and the foul. It's going to go on Michael Kid Gilchrist. The Bobcats making a change here. Ashik's checked in. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half has carried right over into the second.
Well, it's been a super performance from beyond the arc, too. I mean, they've been raining in those threes.
Anderson with it, and it's Lynn picking him up. Out of bounds, Bobcats ball as Charlotte keeps possession.
16 seconds on the shot clock.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Walker. 6 to shoot. Back to Kid Gilchrist. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Kevin, he gets a lot of praise for the way he exerts himself on the court. The energy, the passion that he brings to the game. It's really fun to watch.
You know, it's really good to see people recognize how much effort he puts into each and every minute he's out there. He's all in all the time and never stops working.
The first one falls.
Well, you know, when you're a team that's young and can't score, it's hard to win anywhere, especially on the road, though. The Bobcats just were often overmatched when they were on the road.
And Kid Gilchrist drops them both. Going back to the Bobcats on the road, it was definitely their undoing as they ended up with a league worst 6 road wins on the season. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, but it's just reality, too. I mean, when you don't have players who can score and attack and create offensively, you're going to struggle on the road. And they just didn't have anybody who was capable of carrying their team through the inevitable adversity that hits when you're on the road.
Zeller with it, and it's Howard picking him up. And it's Walker penetrating. Pass to Zeller. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Unreal. Mark it up. You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Bobcats trail by 7. Outside, Walker kicks it to Jefferson. Count that one.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Timeout called the Rockets.
You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, Kevin McHale had some advice for the team in that last break. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Thanks, Doris. Lynn kicks to Harden. Harden gets a screen from Howard. 6 to shoot. Now, here is Harden. Henderson defending. James Harden again. Harden's got 7 points here in this quarter. And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home, and that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. And I thought that the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on.
Ashik, the pass to Howard. Houston moving the ball around. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
And the Bobcats call time here. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his point.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And here's Walker outside, and he gets it to go. Walker's got 9 points here in the second half.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Parsons attacking Ashik, and that one's good.
He had his head on a swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Bobcats trail by 6. Walker dishes to Kid Gilchrist. Right side, Kid Gilchrist. That's good.
Boy, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
Timeout called, the Rockets. They're in front by 4. And there's 1:45 left to play in the final quarter. There's 1:45 left in the fourth quarter. Dishes it to Ashik. Kicks it out to Harden. The feed to Lynn. Shot clock at 5. And stolen by Zeller. And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Good D by Harden.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Down low, Kid Gilchrist with the steal. And it's the Bobcats on the break. Henderson with the ball. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Big call, Kevin. He just didn't get there quick enough, and that's a tough break.
For Houston, they've gotten 7 of their 8 shots to fall here in the fourth. A tremendous offensive outburst. Harden kicks to Howard. No good. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Walker goes in to tie it up. And it's blocked by Harden. And Parsons kicks to Harden. He dishes it to Howard. With it, he's picked up by Walker. Feeds it to Lynn. From deep. Bobcats with the rebound.
You can't get into much better position for the 3 than that. Everything was right on target. It just didn't fall.
Henderson passes to Jefferson. Right side Jefferson. It's good. This game is all even.
Oh, what a clutch shot. That could be the difference maker.
Big moment in this game.
Timeout called, the Rockets. The score knotted at 56. We've got 13 seconds left in the game. Harden outside. Oh, off target.
Great job. Taking it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
Shooting for Houston, James Harden. At the line for 2.
He sinks the clutch free throw. And so both free throws are good, and it's a two-point ball game.
Just clutch work. That's all you can say. A little bit of defense now, and they'll be out of here with a win.
Charlotte calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. 8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Walker goes in. And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul.
Yeah, he had not established position.
You know, I prefer the refs to whistle with a block when in doubt. I thought that was a good call there.
Here's Walker with the 3. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good.